Hello everyone, this is Maffuman, coach at the Starcraft Star Battle. This is a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game starring Valerio. Valerio the Arbiter has an electromagnetic storm and a little bit of extra energy. Kent Mulberry comes off with speed and tack fighters to farm. We got Void Ray as Blackheart. Blackheart the Void Ray got that blink. Bruce T coming on in, got that a little bit of speed, but mostly range and broodling strikes and lasers and all that. We got Ico the Overlord has the plague. EMRAkul comes on in, has 28 damage mitigating, 5 upgrades on his armor. We got Steve on the opposite side. We got Steve with burst lasers. No abilities on his Raven, just speed and burst lasers. Really trying to farm up for a little bit. Space coming on in. Space. The frigate he has wraiths. He has wraiths to farm as well. We got RJH, who was just plagued as a Colossus, and taking a whole bunch of damage from Bruce T. He got EMP'd. Oh, JJ Beast EMP'd somebody, but he doesn't have the abilities. And he actually doesn't have any shields, so unfortunately not necessarily the best EMP right there. Pretty much any other target would be good though, especially with the Ico or Blackheart or Valeria. That's really helpful to have the EMP a little more standard, although it does come at the cost of range and lasers, farm ability. We got RJH coming on in. Oh, nice magnetic storm and plague wombo combo combination. Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and Pain. We got Space taking going in, and he's trying to use his range. He has plenty of range. His missiles aren't doing very much any more damage, but he does have that. But it looks like almost everybody went for like the let's look at Shaori. Shaori has missiles. Looks like almost everybody went for like the farming. I've got some tack fighter builds. Let's not attack each other for the first couple minutes. This could be a very peaceful game. And then they all said no, peace is for suckers. And they decided to attack Russia in winter. We got Valerio farming up. He's got a little bit of he's got this electromagnetic storm. So he's using that. He doesn't have very much else. He does have 611 money. Space moving on in, trying to launch his backlash rockets to scare them off. Bruce T is like, hey, I like shooting things at long range too. Look at these right here. Storm. Perfect storm hits RJH and Space, and yes, Valerio took some damage, but he did hull damage at the cost of just shield for him. And Bruce T followed it up. He might not have been able to kill Space, but any extra damage is permanent. Gonna keep him in base for that extra couple half seconds. And it looks like Shaorian was pushing up and attacking Blackheart, but now Shaorian's all alone. He has longbow missiles, range 9, laser batteries at range 8, and a blink comes on in to negate that. And we got Ico with the plague, actually shooting a little bit in front of Shaorian, so having to go right into it. And it looks like EMRAkul is coming on in as well. We got Bruce T doing some damage. We got Kent Mulberry jumping on in. We got Valerio right in front, and Shaorian surrounded, but he has two frigates, two ravens right close to him, and the what is his turn? He turns away from them, and Steve couldn't commit any further. Steve is Kent Mulberry launched a nuke. Kent Mulberry launched a nuke on Steve and almost took it out in the very beginning of the game. Kent Mulberry used his money to buy the most expensive ability, and he's going to get ion cannon, but who cares? He almost killed Steve in the very beginning of the game. We got RJH pushing on back. We got Blackheart was plagued, and I guess it looks like Vomit does have plague at this point. He went back. He used his money to get the ability. JJ Beast coming on in. He's got that EMP shockwave, and he's looking for something to use it on now. Now these two people are great targets to use it on. Kent Mulberry used his money in the very beginning to buy the $400 ability. So that is, it almost worked. He almost killed another person right there. We got Space trying to stay behind with RJH. It's a good idea. Let him be the tank. If it comes to that. JJ Beast coming on up. He's got enough energy, and he does EMP. Now, Kent Mulberry, the nuke is still on cooldown for another 60 seconds, and he doesn't have enough energy for it anyway. But what he was trying to do, you need both the nuclear missiles to be ready off cooldown, as well as 200 energy, and the EMP does help keep him low. That may or may not balance out by the time he gets it back, but any energy you can drain is always good. Steve gonna launch a little mini guy, a little mini secret missile. Secret missile is gonna chase down Ico because Ico has 1.61 speed, and those I think go at like 1.81, so it's almost guaranteed. RJ is gonna take a whole bunch of damage. He's a shield tank without any shields. EMRAkul was chased off by the Tempest. Now don't worry, there are no surprise carriers. You know, it's just the Tempest coming on in and doing that. They actually were in a great position in the gas, so we couldn't see them. And with the entire team on you, even if you're the tank, you don't want to tank that hard. Bruce T coming around. He looks like he used his money. Ooh, Scourge. He's got Scourge, energy, and range. He wants to farm. He also can now do a whole bunch of damage. Steve, he's trying to figure out who and where he can launch his Seeker. But the Seeker is a little bit channeling, so he's going to have to figure out, you know, maybe I'll launch it at somebody. Nope, ran out of range. And, yeah, there he is. Okay, there we go. And Valerio gonna also have to run back. Now, he's got 1.81 speed, and he saw it in time, so it might not hit him. We're gonna keep our eye on him as we keep an eye on the rest of the team. It looks like the Colossus is moving out against the Sky Furies right there. And, you know, he ends up taking a whole bunch of damage from the Scourge right there. Bruce T coming on in for round 2 of the Scourge, and he's going to launch them at RJH, and that might take him out of the shields. And ooh, EMP does drain any further Scourging action potential. RJH barely into the hull damage, but you know, another round of Scourge would have to be hacking on home. Ooh, beautiful EMP. We got a beautiful electromagnetic storms. It starts with an E, you know what I mean? There's the EMP on EMRAkul. An ion cannon coming on in. Now, ion cannon does 1600 damage plus 900 to shield. So if EMRAkul had any shield, he was taking extra damage. He likely did. It's hard to have 0 shield. I mean, obviously at some point it happens, but it's usually the case that there's a little bit of extra shield around, like 12 or something, just from pure regen ability. Ico, he wanted to plague, but he doesn't have the energy, and RJH was using the rocks as protection, going around them, because he had to be in a straight line. Blackheart gonna go on in. Blackheart gonna take a behind the back plague. Now looks like Vomit has Sean Spotter right now. Now Blackheart doesn't have Cloak, but if he gets it, I mean, Vomit's prepared for it. 1.82 speed, gonna have to use that to get on back because he's plagued and just about to get into the burning. There he is. Blackheart gonna try to go on back. No, he has blink, but he has 510 energy. Let's see if he ends up getting Cloak. Sure, I'm not gonna ever tell you to say that Cloak is bad. There's already Sean Spotter, which I mean, he doesn't know that they have, but there's also EMP. There's 3 people who could drain his energy, so like, sure, Cloak is always scary, but you know, it's not the only path that he can take. It can get countered and, you know, all that. We got Bruce T moving on back. Bruce T has 375 energy. He needs 375 potential. He has 125 to actually launch, and as soon as he can, he will. And RJH is gonna just have to take it. Now he has the range. Actually, he has range as a Colossus, which is good to get, but range as a Colossus only affects the range of your lasers, not your antimatter missiles. Oh no, Valerio has the Phantoms. Oh, a plague on from Ico as well. A plague on both of the Arbiters right there. Pox on both of the houses, and then the space launched a torpedo, and it hit the Phantom right there. The splash damage did almost all of that to the Colossus betrayal torpedo. And EMRAkul is going to go in there, going to use his protective field to take as much damage as possible. Yeah, he's going to take some damage to kill those Tempests. Vomit going to say, hey, I'm going to launch some Plague at you, and boom, and there it goes, right all over him. We got Blackheart. He has Chrono Rifts and Charge instead of Cloak, which is also good. I mean, Chrono Rift is interesting. It's there's no carriers on the field, but it's good for farming. It's good for running away. Charge is great, doubles the damage you got. The upgrade how fast his beam is going to be, because there are counters to Plague, or counters to Cloak, and maybe he gets in the future. Ooh, EMP and then the blink. Unfortunately, unable to blink away from it in time. Now the Space is launching his missiles, and they did hit the Valerio. Now, there we go. Steve did know that this is the right one, so he's gonna actually, right there, boom, take the damage. And you basically just have to like kind of like remember if one of them is taking damage and not doing damage, that's probably the big. Ooh, Plague. Plague hits the frigate right there. Frigates are great to play in general, but that Secret Missile is going to do a whole bunch of damage. It won't kill him necessarily, but like won't make him feel good. He's going to have to go on back to base. He's got 12,000 life, or 100 life, so he probably he'll make it, in most situations. It's just he definitely has to move on back. He actually can't even warp back if he wanted to. Beautiful Plague. Now the blue side's being nice and cautious. They are staying by their base. Their base isn't being hurt. They're okay to go back, because at base you can go back and heal a lot easier than the red team could, because they're on the offense. Eventually you have to go back to spend your money, and any damage that you can do with the Plague or just general damage abilities, whatever you got, they can't heal at base, or they can't heal at your base. They can heal at their base. So we got RJH pushing up. Now RJH doesn't have any abilities, and he probably should get like something. Probably doesn't have very much money to do so, but try to figure out what you can spend your money on when you do have the ability, because eventually the red side will have to go back. It's just a question of how damaged they'll be when they go back. And right now RJH is taking a bunch of damage, and Steve is giving him some shields and beautiful defensive matrix making a big difference right there. That is from JJ Beast. You can read it right there. Surrounds the target unit with the shield that will reduce most hits to the minimum damage. The shield is not perfect and will leak some hits. Lasts for about 5 seconds. We got Ico coming on in. He was EMP at some point. He also only has 375. Yes, only. You start off with let's see, 225, and then you build out from there. And he needs 150 to play because he upgraded it. So he's gonna need more money. Basically, he's gonna need more money, more energy. That whole struggle. EMRAkul taking a bunch of damage. He's got the protective field. Whenever he has the 50 energy, he can use either repair bots or protective field. Oh no, the double Valeros are going to be hurt but not killed. And even if they were killed, they're fakes, they're phantoms. They're Bruce T jumping in. He launches that, and RJH will take a little bit more. Again, he just hasn't been able to have any time to get abilities, so he's relying on the two healers. Now there are two healers. He's a shield tank. Give him some shields, and he'll be great. Ico moving back, and the blue side is trying to push back, being cautious, and the Chrono Rift is slowing down the movement in that area. And we got a Camp Mulberry. Nuke's ready. He's got a defensive shield as well. Let's see. So defensive shield can give him a little bit of extra life, and then the nuke can do a crazy amount of damage. And his missiles are okay-ish because he put other money into other things. Got Guardian warping on out, and will he be secret instead? Nope. Whoop. Flop. We got Vomit moving on back. We got Vomit with the Plague. He wants to use it against somebody. Ico is a little bit fast and is going to run away. Plague for a Plague. EMP as well. But both Vomit and JJ Beast were hit by Ico's Plague. They're both at the same range. You actually can't upgrade how far those are shooting. They are there's 11, and I think the EMP is at 10. And we got the triple Valero right there. They probably do know that this is the right one, especially because there's a little animation when you feedback. But now he's going to do a bunch of damage, and Steve has to turn away because the Sky Furies happen to go up there. Now they just basically go randomly. They're not following anybody. They're finding their own path. Just happens to be a good path to have. And then Torpedo was used, but protective field was there, so it did down to 25% of that. Now EMRAkul is in a great position. He is in the gas right there. He's going to siege to go up further. Blackheart does have the cloak, and he's going to try to do it. We got a nuke coming in from Camp Mulberry. RJH taking a whole bunch of damage as well as Space. And will that be enough to finish him off? He's almost out to shield. He will be shielding right now. He's being shielded, and the missiles are not necessarily that great because he was doing so much more. And we got double Ravens protecting, making Colossus able to get on back. In the meantime, though, you know, this Dreadnought came on up, has the gas cannon, and the 15 range is using that perfectly in line with the other sieges to just put pressure on the Warp Prism. They have to heal up. They should attack in one unison. Aiko should try to not die by like an errant seeker missile or something like that. And you know, let's see if they are able to put pressure on this base enough to kill it. They probably will. And JJ Beast is going to launch the seeker now. If that seeker hits, yeah, he has 1.92 speed. He might not, but if that seeker did hit, then that Overlord would be out, and we're going to see what is happening. The Warp Prism is destroyed, and it looks like EMRAkul is going to go out of combat. There we go. And the Seeker does fizzle out as well. Blackheart was protecting as well. You know, Prismatic Beam. Warberries aren't the best at, like, defense, but, like, hey, you know, you keep your buddies around. Oh, look at this. Bruce T, not relenting, has spawned Broodlord and Corruptor. In this iteration, it has, you kind of create a little, like, sieging guy as well as a protector unit, a little buddy system right there, and he's using that to put pressure on the other tower. Will he get it out of the shield? I don't know, maybe. Ooh, EMRAkul using the, what's it called, siege right there, but not necessarily around his friends. The red side is, like, sort of close to the area, but RJH is coming on in. He's going to try to do as much damage as possible. His missiles aren't very upgraded, but he has you know, out of energy right now, so you can't even harden shield. They're going to have to move on back. Cut Melway behind enemy lines, but Nuke is ready, willing, and possibly able to be targeted on JJ Beast. We're going to see what happens. The Nuke, though, does you know, have to be targeted, and there we go. EMP and Steve going to launch a Seeker missile to injure Kent Mulberry, possibly not kill him, but does scare them off. No super seeky nukes right there. We got the Arbiter, Piano Build, press a button, any of them do some cool stuff. We got you know, Chrono Boost, we got Electromagnetic Storm, we got Phantoms, we got Force Fields, we got some feedbacks, and I guess you could work as well. And basically, there's a trick in the book. He's pretty much found it, and he's going to use his Phantoms to absorb more damage. And then, you know, use his cool abilities to protect his buddy a little further. Ken Mulberry now has the Chrono Boost to get extra energy extra quickly. Now there's 525, so he's going to get energy as well. Ooh, but EMP drained it back down. I think that EMP must have been upgraded. Yes, drains 300 energy now instead of the 200 that it starts off with. And they're just really just trying to make sure that Ken Mulberry cannot nuke them. Plague all over everybody. Everybody's taking damage right now, so they're all going to have to get, you know, kind of close to the base. We got Bruce T. He doesn't have, I mean, he's going to always pretty much need energy for his Broodlords and Corruptors or for his Scourge. He does have Adrenal Overload to kind of sacrifice health for energy, and yes, as a Guardian, you do want to do that. Energy is, you know, pretty important, especially when you're going for like Broodlords and Corruptors, and kind of setting up a second line of siege. Now he's not using it to attack the base, but he is making them have to take damage just to attack the sieger. So all bases are covered. RJH jumping on in there. He wanted to use his shield so much, and he doesn't have very much upfront damage to take any more. The Nuke is going to chase him. The Nuke is going to be way overkilling. Injures the Phantoms, and the tower is gone. EMRAkul jumps on out of the combat mode, or jumps into combat mode, out of siege mode. Ken Mulberry coming on in. Now he can't nuke again, but you know, he's going to get hit close. His missiles are not very good because he put it into so many other things. But the blue side is just like peeling on back. There's another siege set up. A little bit outside, I think, the range of the mothership. Maybe has to like inchworm his way up there at the somebody do the math on the thing. 1.61 minus 1.35. It actually makes almost enough sense for him to get on up there by getting out of siege mode, spending the extra 150. EMP not in time enough to stop him from doing that. And they got a torpedo coming in, and torpedo hits the Phantoms. The Phantoms got Phantom blocked, and Ken Mulberry took some extra damage, but that's fine. The Phantoms took the damage from the space and the torpedo, and EMRAkul is just keeping some pressure on. Now he is basically always able to keep some pressure on the base. He got space. We're retreating on back. Now I like the idea behind Vomlet's what's it called, corruption ability, but it just might not be enough. Contaminate ability. And we got Blackheart moving on up. Now Blackheart, you know, is the Void Ray. He wants to do damage, but he's mostly just scaring them out of there. And pretty much they're just putting them in like a chokehold right now because they weren't able to break the Dread, you know, holes right there. People jumped on in. We got space. Oh, and there's the Mothership. And that's going to be a good game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This one was sent to us by one of the users here. So make sure you guys send your replays to maffuman@gmail.com. Press like, press subscribe. We're doing Starcraft Star Battle all the time.